Welcome back, everybody, to Starladder Season 11, Day 2, PR versus MVP. It's an important match, lower bracket action. I'm GoDz Merlini, and PR down 1-0.
One game away from elimination, and I don't think they respected MVP enough in that match.
No, those bans and just letting MVP get all their MVP heroes, not respecting them, maybe not doing their research. I don't know. Maybe they looked at day one and were like, those are the picks MVP like to go for. When no, day one was MVP, not picking MVP heroes.
When they picked Brew in the first phase, I was like, okay, this is going to be, well, it's one of those games.
Yeah. I think if they just moved on to ban the Warlock, it could have been a very different affair. Like, I don't think the Warlock was the only problem that game, but it definitely...
They still played phenomenally well. Given the draft, I actually pinned PR on losing much, much earlier.
Yeah.
And there were a fair amount of mistakes on both sides, but still, I think MVP's superior draft won them more than anything.
Yeah, I think things, especially looking at that PA getting out of control, getting like a 12-minute BKB, that probably shouldn't have happened, but all in all, from a strategic point of view, it was MVP's kind of game to win for the most part.
Certainly.
We'll see. Game 2, I imagine there'll be more bans targeted at some of those key heroes for the teams. We are going to see, once again, PR on the dire side, though. So MVP sticking to the Radiant. They got to choose pick this. They chose first pick this side. So, again, MVP going to be on the Radiant side. They seem to prefer it. And when you're on the Radiant side, one of the things I know PPD talked about a bit in his interview recently, his documentary, is the Radiant side you want to push fast so your opponents aren't taking too many Roshans. And it seems MVP made
that was last patch.
Do you think it doesn't apply as much in the current patch? Or?
Not so much. The Roshan pit's so far away from the towers. I still think you want to push those two T1s down.
Okay.
But it's still very difficult to do Roshan with the constant buffs that Roshan's been getting with that really secluded area. It's very isolated. It's not like right next to the T1 like before in mid where like Dire clearly had an advantage. Now, just not right so much.
Okay. That's a good point. And even like seeing that game, they had the Vengeful Spirit with the minus armor, but they really took a long time to bring down that first Roshan. There was so much time for MVP to get in there to contest that if they wanted to. I think if they'd figured it out. They weren't entirely sure, it seemed. But
their aggro try was a big win for them, too.
Yeah.
Being able to score the first blood on NS and then the immediate kill thereafter on Sochlo. I think that might be more of a reason for them to prefer Radiant, is so they can take advantage of that.
It felt like there was just no purpose to the PR supports. It wasn't even like they played badly. It was like, what do you do if you're the Venge that game? You can't help the Timbersaw top. You can't really gank PA mid. You can't. We saw him go bottom lane to go gank the Warlock. I think it's just like, I can't do anything. Puck has no mana.
They had a stack, I think, and get more fling, more fling and Timber online a little bit faster.
Yeah, I think the Wisp was doing quite well. The Wisp did stack, and the PA came and stole it. But I don't know. Can't win it all. But Game 2 draft now underway. We're still seeing this Dazzle ban. Every team is just banning Dazzle against PR. It seems just to be a respect ban in a lot of ways for the PR side.
MVP Phoenix's turn to ban.
And, it is MVP with first pick. So we'll see if they leave the Wisp in the pool again, if they decide to go for a first pick Wisp.
I think they ban either Wisp or Tiny right here. I don't think it doesn't make sense for them to give it away.
10 seconds remaining.
They seem to be pretty decently adept at dealing with the Wisp. And they had the Witch Doctor cast. They didn't really stack a lot of Wisp counters per se, but
Brew ult, good at isolating or taking out a Wisp.
Wisp just not good at like the team fights early on. Like around the 15-minute mark, the relocates are good for pickoffs here and there, but not like your Wisp was team fighting. It was just kind of a squishy hero for the PA to easily kill. So exact same bans. They take out the Tiny once more. I don't think MVP are going to go for the Wisp. Well, it gets banned out, so they're definitely not going for the Wisp. But
turn to pick.
They could just go same thing. Is this just first pick Brewmaster, or do you think MVP have a different strategy now that they're first pick?
I say Brew or Tide, depending on what they want to do. I'm still not sure whether they're going to fully commit to that push strat, though, like last game. I think that Power Rangers will be much wiser this time. They will respect it a lot more and won't go for super greed. So I'm not exactly sure how MVP is going to tackle this. So I think this game they have to draft a lot more reactively than last game.
It also is one of those cases like as the BO3 develops, the pick priority changes. If MVP want the Warlock, I feel like they have to pick it second here because otherwise it's very likely to get banned out in the second stage. So I don't think second pick Warlock is necessarily good here, but it feels like an almost definite ban from the Power Rangers side if you don't take it.
So Power Rangers with a similar opener, not the same. And MVP tends to draft fairly light on the disables because they opt for other things like, you know, push and damage. So Puck, if played like last game, will probably have a pretty high effect, although MVP might change the draft. The Witch Doctor, like the cask and all was nice, but we didn't really see any Death Wards. I think that support can be rotated out for one with more disables, so PA has more uptime and so Puck doesn't get out of control.
Okay.
Like Disruptor or something.
Disruptor, Skywrath.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I like Disruptor a little bit more than Skywrath, though.
All right, so they're going to go Warlock. They decide they want to go for the pretty much the same strat to some extent. They're not going to get all the same heroes, I imagine. Probably see the Jakiro banned out potentially. But MVP, recognizing this hero is going to get banned if they don't take it now.
Dire team ban.
Oh, the draw band's very smart.
Yeah.
So they almost got outpushed by a Morphling, and Morphling's a pretty fast pusher, but not as fast as a Drow.
And Morphling couldn't really roast that easily, but Drow definitely can with just the Mask of Madness and the Venge.
And especially without a Wisp, they should not have Roshan available to them that early.
5 seconds remaining.
Just a Drow with a Puck Venge in general is just insane damage output, but we'll see what Power Rangers look to do here. Haven't seen any Magnus come out of them. I feel like having a Magnus-type hero against the push strat would be kind of a nice little pick to have for your mid lane. But
at the same time, I think Warlock kind of counters that sort of initiation, though. Like, if you don't get Brew or Warlock, you're going to get counter-initiated on, and things go very poor very quickly. Okay. I think it's a very risky sort of strat to go for, is the Magnus, although it is an option. And MVP Phoenix, I think they excel at team fights. So Power Rangers, I would say still what I said before game number 1, concentrate on winning the lanes. And not, I mean, they have to draft some anti-push, but not necessarily a lot of team fight.
And that was, I feel, game 1. They couldn't do anything in the lane. They had this Wisp Morphling lane and then a Venge Timbersaw lane. They were very weak lanes, so probably see a much more like true support duo that can actually tri-lane versus tri-lane if they need to, can gank a bit better, can rotate to the mid lane, rotate to the off lane, just move around the map more. So we'll see PR again ban the Bristleback, and does leave some of those similar heroes. The Jakiro still in the pool, the Witch Doctor still in the pool.
I think Jakiro is a much more important ban, and they go with the same bans, Bristleback and Slark in the second phase.
I think they're probably feeling at least comfortable versing the same strategy again and just saying, look, rather than ban the heroes they pick, let's give it to them again and then just change our draft such that we have a stronger lineup. So
Rubik's much better at anti-push, and there are, I mean, when you draft a lot of team fight, there are going to be tons of great ultimates to steal. Problem is, if he doesn't get a blink, going to be difficult not to get caught by that huge range of the Warlock ultimate, or just get owned by Brewmaster before the fight's over.
Yeah, this is not an easy game for a Rubik as far as positioning goes. Well, we'll see what MVP have in mind, if it's going to be the similar Jakiro-type picks coming out here for them, or if they maybe go for something a little bit different.
They also don't have anything on an Omni right now. So I still think that's a possibility for Phoenix.
You mentioned having some additional lockdown for a Puck. It will be the Disruptor pick, as MVP Phoenix going to be going for a pretty solid support of their own.
It looks like just a more refined game than last game. I'm like, okay, Witch Doctor wasn't that useful. We'll go with Disruptor instead. Rubik, nice for the anti-push, nice for stealing the ultimates. Better than Wisp in dealing with MVP's lineup. Still, we see a lot of the same heroes once again. Power Phoenix. Power Rangers lacking, what, a Shashlo hero and a Ditya Ra hero, it looks like.
I mean, they love the Ditya Ra Anti-Mage, but is that, I mean, I don't feel like it's too greedy just because of MVP Phoenix always 5-manning and pushing. Anti-Mage is just so good at split pushing that the push from MVP Phoenix normally comes at the stage where Anti-Mage will have his Battle Fury ready, so.
Yeah, but you can't split push with just a Battle Fury. Not fast enough to deal with like a THD siege.
Okay. So you feel Anti-Mage is maybe a bit too greedy then?
I think so. I think like Gyro, like a BKB hero, I think is much safer than Anti-Mage.
Yeah, something that could actually fight into the push potentially. Well, there we go. Gyrocopter it is. Pushing into Flak, cooldown, BKB Gyrocopter, and also a fantastic laning hero. At this stage, PR, their tri-lane is brutal. The Venge and Rubik can gank mid. They can do a lot with these heroes here.
They have a lot more AoE this time, which is very, very important versus MVP's lineup. And again, the Gyro, BKB shouldn't have too many counters. I guess if Warlock gets fat enough, his Infernals can deal with it, but at the same time, they have enough AoE, I think, to clear it out if Gyro has somewhat decent farm.
All right, well, MVP, see how they adjust. If they probably seen this want some late game, I feel. I don't think they're going to be able to fully rely on team fighting and pushing their way to victory.
Yeah, I think it's...
Need to go for like the PA again or some kind of comparable carry hero almost.
PA got kited a lot last game. I don't know if they're going to go for it again. The Slark would have been nice for them, but it's been banned out. I'm not sure.
The Morphling's still there if they Morphling.
Morphling's pretty nice.
It's going to be Jug. So.
Dire team ban.
I haven't seen Kyo play Jug, I don't think, myself, but I'm sure he definitely can play Jug. Like, not the most difficult hero to play by any means, but the other thing MVP sometimes do is that support Warlock. If they say, okay, our push is not going to work, they pick this Gyrocopter entirely to deal with it, let's just play more for the lanes in the late game. And the Juggernaut definitely a very strong laner in his own right.
But at the same time, he does offer a lot to a push, maybe even more so than a PA. PA was a great tower tank that game, especially with the Shadow Word. What is it? Shadow Word. Just Shadow Word. The Shadow Word heal. But now they have the Juggernaut Healing Ward Sustain, which will also do a lot of work in keeping the Warlocks Infernals alive, which just fell last game.
Yeah. Okay.
Power Rangers looking for a last ban now.
The other thing MVP have actually done a bit of is support Jug. They don't always run the Jug as a carry.
That is true. Ryzen plays that.
Yep. I think almost they've done more support Jug than carry Jug almost. Not sure on the actual numbers there, but it's definitely been a comparable amount. As Jakiro's the last man for Power Rangers, definitely worried about more additional push coming their way. I miss heroes like Shadow Shaman. That hero used to be,
10 seconds remaining.
Seems like these Serpent Ward push strats happen, but no longer the case.
5 seconds remaining.
So MVP, Phoenix looking for their last ban. Void banned out. I was thinking more like a Centaur. I think like a big tank out in front. A decent BKB carrier would be nice for them. Void would have been pretty good too. Especially with the Gyrocopter. And it definitely shores up Power Rangers late game. Not that they're necessarily worried about it with their lineup already.
Yeah. Well, they haven't got too much time to figure out this last pick of theirs. And
10 seconds remaining.
Probably the Sashglow hero. Normally the mid lane, but we'll see if him and possibly Cheshire Cat do some swapping things around here. They could always run the puck mid for him and get a different hero for Cheshire Cat as well in the off lane. The Tide's still available if they feel like they need more team fight to be able to go into MVP Phoenix here. But against like Brewmaster Ultimate, okay, it will be the Tide.
MVP Phoenix's turn to pick.
It does give them definitely a team fight to match MVPs here.
With Tide Hunter Ultimate and Puck Ultimate, and Puck Burst, they probably should be able to kill a Brewmaster before he ultimates. And that was one thing that they severely lacked last game.
Yeah, I feel like that was half the reason for the Void ban, because Void, another hero that can help try bring down the Brew before he ulties. If you catch him in the Chronos here and chain stun and burst him down using the Gyro, the Rubik, Venge, and all that. So last pick for MVP is going to kind of reveal at least their plan, whether this will be a support Jug, pick up some kind of a actual carry here, or go some other route.
I think it should be probably a hard carry.
They do a lot of Viper. That's a hero that I know March plays
Viper
quite a lot
I think would be really good here. Good mech carrier. I think he can end the game a little bit early too versus Power Rangers. I don't think MVP wants to take it super late.
Well, they get us another support in Lion, and it will be a carry Juggernaut.
All right.
Lion does give them that initiation they were kind of lacking with. Like, I mean, I guess the Brewmaster has it, but it's not like you blink, clap, ulti someone. If it's a Gyro, he can still BKB. If it's a Puck, he can phase shift, jaunt out. For Lion, though, blink Hex is just counters the Puck and the Gyrocopter, at least preventing their BKBs, their phase shift, their blinks out. So.
And it's much needed burst. Disruptor doesn't really have that much damage. Warlock is a lot of slow and steady damage, and when you play against BKB, when you play against like a Tidehunter too, you just want a lot of damage quickly, as soon as possible. And they do have the Omni Slash, but that's about it on their lineup.
Yeah, even with like a Kraken, Tide not really guaranteed to always get off an ultimate against a Lion, against a Juggernaut Omni Slash. Brewmaster could force it out as well, so. Game 2 underway. MVP Phoenix taking their first win of the Starladder LAN Finals, and here at Season 11, looking to go deeper through this tournament, through the lower bracket. They're up 1-0 on the Radiant side. It's going to be Forev on the Juggernaut. Boots first for him. We'll see the Brewmaster being played by Kua. We've got Heen on the Disruptor. Reason going to be playing the Lion. Boots first as well. March going to be once again on the Farming Warlock for the MVP side, the Korean Dota squad. On the Dire side, it's going to be the Belarusian Power Rangers. It's going to have Cheshire Cat once again on the puck, headed to the offlane. Saniko going to be on the Rubik, NS on the Vengeful Spirit, Sashglow on the Tide, and finally, that leaves Dichira on the Gyrocopter. Bit of lag coming out here, hopefully not permanent. Tide going mid. I guess the 1v1 against Brewmaster is a decent matchup for the Tide.
Is he going mid?
He is. I don't lie. Well,
Dichira with a boots first build. Boots first versus a Juggernaut that also goes boots first, so he doesn't get spin and wind on. Still, I would assume that they can zone him out with the supports, though. They have 2 range supports, and no Stout Shield on the Jug. Should be fairly easy to right-click down.
Secure the bounty runes with the boots first, I guess. We'll see Jug as well as Brew nearby, and I think they'll quickly realize they can't get that rune. Bottom rune, though, will go the way of the MVP side.
Maybe it seems like they still aren't terribly familiar with. I think the boots first is really good versus a Brewmaster, so you can just chase him down with your Rocket Barrage. But versus Juggernaut, it's not as strong. Maybe they did expect QO to go to the offlane instead. Still not completely sure why Dichira opted for this.
Well, there will be a dual lane up top, as Reason going to make himself known up here. Both the MVP heroes with boots in this top lane. Saniko with a Sentry Ward, and he actually, he warded the cliff over here. Wrong cliff to ward. Oh, no, did he take it out, actually? What am I talking about? Nope. No, he didn't. No, Radiant Ward's off in the trees here.
So it will be a 2-1-2 coming out for MVP. Ryzen will be on a top lane to babysit Forev and make sure he gets some inkling of farm.
Okay. So this trial lane going to be looking to deny as much creep XP as possible, but always a little harder. With the Radiant offlane, actually the big camp's being blocked off, so MVP won't have that pull camp available to them.
I'm surprised he didn't go for a double pull right here too. Cheshire Cat was right there to stop it. Actually, maybe that's why he didn't do so.
Yeah. Cheshire Cat trading blows, and the Thunderstrike is some very potent harass at level 1.
Puck down to 3 tangos left, and he also has 3 tangos, and he's using a Clarity to boot. So Cheshire Cat not going to have an easy time in this lane, especially when March picks up his phase boots once again.
Yeah. And once March has phase boot, you can just turn this into a 1v1. Send the Disruptor top to help out in the tri lane if you really want to, which it seems kind of not really any reason not to do. March should be able to outlast hit and outfarm the puck with relative ease with phase boots.
They have to be pretty careful with these 2 supports on Power Rangers. If mispositioned, they can actually die to the boots Juggernaut.
Yep. A gift from the
Brewmaster taking a bit of damage here. Will be a bounty rune at bottom, and then top rune just going to be a, well, not so useful illusion rune, which it seems they want to leave for the Tide.
So QO, very even in CS with the Tidehunter, but Sashla with the bottle and the illusion to boot should have the upper edge.
Yeah.
Henceforth.
Yeah, QO's just bottle Crow. And this is his first bottle, actually. Looks like he has only just picked it up now with 10 CS, so. But now, yeah, pretty stable mid lane, pretty even on CS there. Tied with the bottle rush, does start pulling away and getting a bit of an edge, but all things considered, for MVP, it looks like they're going to be going for a slower pace game in the lane stage. No offensive trialing, just going for the pulls on the Disruptor. This time around, I think he will get the... No, he's not going to actually have any creeps left to go for a double pull. Denies of all the melee creeps, has just 1 range creep slip through.
Man,
so.
You see the Sentry Ward?
At the top lane?
Yeah.
Oh, that's a sad PR.
That is a very sad PR.
They know the big camp was blocked if they've scouted it out. Maybe thinking it was somewhere
Jug's
in that
getting
area.
great CS in this lane. He has 10 CS compared to Gyro's 14. So this 2-on-3 lane, I say overall a huge success for MVP.
Yeah. Puck, meanwhile,
at least thus far. It's still early.
Has hit level 3.5, almost level 4 on the Puck, so he's still getting quite a bit out of his lane. He's got 7 CS and more XP than the Jug, so PR are still getting something in return for their offlane, I guess.
Puck did have to buy more regen, though.
Yep. Puck, second set of tangos, and mid lane still pretty even. Phase boots up on your gyrocopter. This is where things can get kind of dangerous here. They get the stun on 4F to start things off. The lift as well with the rocket barrage. He's going to now look to escape, but phase boots will give some good chase here. Dchirad is going to need another phase in a couple of seconds. He's going to look to chase this one down. Healing Ward is there. He can't actually get the Healing Ward. That 450 movement speed for Rev. Still alive. Another stun going to be coming through. Well, not for some time. The rocket barrage not reaching, and 4Rev, he'll survive. Really nice play there. Good micro on the Healing Ward to keep him alive, and they thought that they had that kill with the phase boots.
Damn, that was so close. You usually don't see Healing Ward picked up this early on a Juggernaut unless he goes 1-1-1. But, wow.
Just enough to stay alive. He's gone for this very kind of early game-centric item build.
Shashlo in mid. He might get clapped on and die here.
QO doesn't have the move speed advantage, so just going to look to zone out Satchko, who gets salved up by his buddy.
Dire's middle tower is
we'll see
under
QO
attack.
now looking to linger around. Almost level 6 here on the brew. 5 minutes in, no first blood just yet. There's bottom lane rotation. So Nico going to show up here, sit behind the Puck, and maybe look for a bit of a bait
he has
here.
1 creep from 6.
Oh, QO. Mid lane, yeah. A clap.
I think 4Red just stole some of his experience.
If he claps the creep with Sashglow, he can clap them both, hit 6, and then instantly ulti potentially. Is this the play? He gets the ulti. Here we go. Primal Split is not even going to be needed. Maybe Q are going to go for it. Gets trapped in the kinetic field, and there's your boulder toss. 50 damage, more than enough. First blood.
Rock on bottom. Cheshire Cat taking a lot of damage.
Oh, is there anything bonded to him? No. Oh, he goes down to the immolation.
He has Shadow Word on him.
Is under attack.
Oh, okay.
That thing does a lot of damage to Puck.
Oh, I thought the Shadow Word was the fatal bonds. Those animations are messing with my head. Offensive Shadow Word with the Warlock Golem. Gets the kill, and March is off to a good start once more. FaZe, Midas, gets with the Sage's Mask from the mana regen. This is the build he likes to go for.
And a stack to work with.
All right. Some good farm coming his way.
That is a really nice part of having the Warlock early. It's so easy to clear out camps for them. And we saw last game, Power Rangers struggled in that aspect.
So Nico dead at the bottom room, perhaps looking to look for a Roshan deny, and we'll get it.
Nice play.
Through Roshan to him with the Fade Bolt. Still, PR yet to really find too much out of their lanes. Tied at mid, blew a Ravage. That's actually the other thing. That's a Ravage on cooldown for the next minute. He hit level 6 pretty early on, but it's not like he can now use this Ravage anytime soon.
And QO working on his blink. Won't be a 6-minute blink like we saw 4F have, but still very, very early. If he didn't have to buy his bottle, he actually would have his blink by now. So, equal amounts of farm.
He's going to pick up some smaller items. Gets a TP into 1 for now, but towards top lane goes Reason with a smoke on the Lion. Looking perhaps to set a kill for 4F, who's got the Orb of Venom, has the Blade Fury level 2.
This is going to be huge. This is such a big kill if they kill Ra.
He's got a Bracer, but I don't think this... Oh, he gets out of there. Some good map awareness and...
Great positioning by him.
Even with the nighttime vision.
And now NS is close enough, I think, to prevent a dive onto Ra.
Back bottom lane March. 40 seconds away from an ultimate. Still continuing to top the CS here. 61 CS on the Warlock, 19 CS for your Puck. Holy crap. March is doubling like everyone else in the game as far as CS goes.
That is some amazing CS.
That's, I guess, the stack helping out, but he's almost at, like, he's what, 9 CS a minute almost?
Oh, great spin TP. Great reactions there.
Bottom lane, Cheshire Cat in trouble. There's the offensive Shadow Word, the Impale to follow, and down goes your Puck. TP in. Not going to do anything here. March thinking he wants some more, but he's out of mana, out of HP.
Man, this Disruptor pick is owning right now, too. I mean, he's not even 6. Just a Glimp is so good at killing the ever so elusive Fairy Dragon, something that they struggled with last game.
So March going to head back to base to heal up. Does have the Chaotic offering available.
Look at his gold. He had Midas Phase, Sage Mask, and 800 gold on top of that. That is insane amounts of farm.
That first Rock Golem getting a kill and then transitioning into the jungle has just given him an insane amount of CS right now. His net worth a full 1,000 ahead of Q in the mid lane and 1,300 ahead of the Gyrocopter, who's not completely free farming at top, but getting a lot of farm up top.
So Phase Drums build coming out from him. He does need the HP, especially to deal with spells like Finger and Omni Slash. Definitely helps his fighting potential, too.
Here we go.
I preferred this over like an HOD build on him.
March going to smoke himself towards mid lane. It looks like he wants to use his ultimate with QOs to try and find a kill on someone like the Tide, but Tide has already backed off into the jungle. QO should be able to force someone mid, though. He's going to just push out this lane, and someone, in theory, will want to come to defend this tier 1 mid tower.
250 gold away from his Blink Dagger.
Well, here comes NS, and possible kill available here. Even if it's just an ulti for Avenge here, this could secure the tower. And yeah, they're going to use it. Stop the TP. NS not even going to need the Brew Split. Down he goes.
I mean, NS kind of saw that coming, too. He's like, oh, crap, I need a TP out. I'm in the fog, but I don't feel safe at all.
Yeah. Well, now the tier 1 tower going to get glyphed up, but defending this not going to be easy for the PR side. The Fade Bolt, the Orb, will slow things down, but even additional TPs coming in from a level 6 Lion, so... Uh-oh. QO wants to Nico. He's got the Haste Rune, and that's going to wear off just in time for the Rubik to get out back to safety.
Still, his Blink Dagger is on the way. We do have a Blink Clap Split available. And Cheshire Cat wants to defend... Oh!
The Finger of Death. Doing just what it's supposed to. Tide going to get glimpsed back post-Ravage. Oh, dear. So Nico going to be okay, it looks like here. For now, the Brood's going in with a DD rune. He's just going to... Not going to get the last right click off. Needs a blink forward. The Lion trying to get the Rubik. Doesn't get the damage he needed. Gyrocopter, meanwhile, is going to double kill, looking for a third. This TP from Dichara could not have come at a better time. They finally get the Rubik, who'd been alive on low HP for so long. And QO, well, he's got to find a way out of this one. He's got the blink once that split ends. Dichara going to get hit by the boulder toss, and that's going to kind of break the distance here.
Oh, that was so close. NS tried to disable his blink with the Wave of Terror.
Almost got the timing on it.
And that is only 2 kills for PR. They're only 2 kills of the game. Great play from Dichara coming in and securing that great glimpse by Heen as he was ravaging.
Cure at mid. He's being caught out by a stun, and here comes Forev. Omni Slash going to get split between 2, but still a kill. And Reason, with a max level Impale, may look to go back in. Forev again with the Healing Ward. That's going to save his life. This Healing Ward play from Forev has been top-notch.
Saniko almost level 6. Desperately wants to get that spell steal. He needs it.
Yeah, with so many good spells from the Rock. Any ultimate at this point. Omni Slash, Primal Split, Finger. 5 big ultis to seal this game. Blink, clap forward, and Saniko, he's going to be pushed back for now. They're not going to look to follow this one up completely. Not going to overcommit.
He is literally 1 creep away from level 6.
Radiant's top tower
Poor Rubik just wants to be a real Grand Magus.
Poor Puck. Still working on his treads. Oh, Dichara actually might get a solo kill on Raisin over here.
Well, going to back off. Decides he actually doesn't want to fight the Lion and going to TP out. Impale, Hex, anything. Ooh, bit slow to turn. Not that I think he could have easily killed him there on his own. With the Disruptor, though, very likely.
I thought Dichara was going to go for the kill. He was on the high ground.
Yeah.
I guess from his vantage point, it looked like Lion was actually going to try and kill him. But if he knew that they didn't have vision, I think he would have just destroyed him. Called down with a rocket barrage.
He may have not been exactly sure of the Finger of Death cooldown as well. It was up in about 30 seconds at the time, so 160 seconds, I mean, it's hard to kind of time it exactly, perhaps.
Well, here they go. 10 seconds left up on the Brewmaster cooldown.
They see as well. They've got this high ground ward around the tier 1 boat tower. Just now expires, but they did see PR put a ward up there themselves, and it looks like Heen is going to go up there to D-ward. It needs to be careful not to get caught out. He gets lifted up, but there goes QO in with the rock. The clap hits 2, and Saniko going to get taken out. Rubik looking to do whatever he can in the front lines, but he can't do enough. Dichara finally shows up with a Mithril Hammer. They get the brew before he can ulti. Perfectly played. from the PR side. Great counter initiation onto the Brewmaster, and QO got way too greedy there. Didn't go for the ult. He didn't have mana for it initially, and his team gets punished for it.
Wow, if that ward didn't expire, that fight wouldn't have gone down like that, too. Disruptor wasn't able to drop any of his spells, and I think that's what really changed the fight for them.
Well, looks like they want to try and still fight at this bottom lane. Juggernaut going to TP himself into the tier 2, and Tide positioned pretty aggressively here. Forev going to go for an Omni Slash, but doing minimal damage to start things off. The Blade Fury, though, it's going to be not enough damage. It looks like the swap out, and Forev's used everything except his healing ward. He now gets that up for himself, and NS, well, trapped in the kinetic field, will be brought down. They save the Tide, lose NS.
Looks like they want to make round 2 at this tower with Brewmaster ulti up. They might even continue onwards, especially without a Ravage.
This Gyro is going to BKB very soon, though. Just a couple hundred gold away from it. They may lose this tier 1 tower, but any future tower pushes, there will be a BKB on the Gyrocopter. Tide's had his blink for some time now, and
BKB won't solve all his problems. A rock into an Omni Slash will take away a significant portion of his HP through BKB.
Cheshire Cat would love to get that blink. He's not having the same luck he had in game 1 as far as his farm and his item growth goes. 0-4 this game on the puck, and getting some okay farm, but 14 minutes in, just treads.
Very close to his Scepter. I think this might even be a better timing than the last game.
Wow. Yeah. 1k gold, and just needs that last component now.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
For PR, they haven't lost too much in the way of towers, but that's going to quickly change with this Ag Scepter, I feel. Cheshire Cat. Hex. There's an Impale as well. QO. Not going to go for the split just yet. Cheshire Cat still healing up. Gets off a Waiting Rift on QO, and QO not going to need to split. A very awkward glimpse and a missed Dream Core coming out. Welcome to Cirque du Soleil. There's PR and MVP.
Shots low, smoked up, maybe looking for a Blink Ravage, but it's not up for 10 more seconds.
Well, they're going to try and wait it out. There's going to be the smoke expiring, and still in fog, though. He can still get off a big initiation with this Blink Ravage, and MVP perhaps realizing that spell is back online. Backing off, but they've got to rock themselves for March, so they've got their own big teamfight spell. If they can find the Tide and bring him down, that'd be huge for him. But here we go. Tide goes blinking in, but he doesn't find the target to Ravage. Brew's already got the split. BKB for DGR, and it looks like everyone on PR using spells very defensively. They kill the Brew split. Whoa. PR looking to chase for more. The Static Storm with an Impale. The Omni Slash goes through. DGR barely surviving this one with the movement speed. That'll get him out of there. The Rock comes through. Ravage used defensively. Catches 3, but there's no follow-up damage. Everyone on PR is low. They're going kind of full retreat here. NS still lurking around. Gonna dodge the Impale. Turns around with a stun. Reason actually in trouble. NS wants the kill. One more right click. He won't get it though. NS now surrounded. The Rock is going to bring down 2. It's a 2-for-2 trade in the end.
Wow, that could have gone so much better for MVP. I think had he rocked right as soon as the Panda ult came out, then, I mean, I guess the Rock would have probably died to the mass AoE just like the Brewlings, but they really needed just a tiny bit more damage on the Gyrocopter to bring him down. And Ditya Ra gone away with murder in a lot of these fights. 6-0-2. Fantastic game from him.
Yeah, he's getting a lot done. The first BKB usage, not exactly a one team fight for them, but still, his items are growing and growing fast. He's top of the net worth now, and that was before the Ag Scepter for March, which I think is, it's now flying out for, will be available in this next team fight. Level 2 ultimate with Ag Scepter.
They have to be able to kill Ditya Ra in team fights, or he is going to own everything with his flat cannon. He hits for around 150.
That's one way of dealing with 4 Infernals in the late game. Once he starts hitting hard enough, he can just use that flak damage to
They still
bring down
need the Juggernaut, though, to be able to burst him down. They still have him. And he's getting okay amounts of farm. 1-1-1 on Forev.
Q up bottom, doesn't have split for 30 seconds, and MVP kind of want to defend this bottom tower, but without ultimates, this is a risky play for them. Brewmaster has a blink, and he needs to use it. They don't cancel his blink. He blinks into the trees. They didn't actually see where he blinked to. T1 tower now being sieged, and they needed to use the Wave of Terror to cancel the blink there. I'm not sure what prevented it, but QO gets scouted in the trees. They see him. He's going to blink in a few seconds here. They're going to glimpse back the Tide. Now they get the lift on QO, and QO gets taken out in the trees. Oh, dear. Trying to be a bit too fancy and cute there, perhaps. Meanwhile, top lane, Cheshire Cat
Deira still going for Heen.
Top lane, though, March going to go for the TP out. Nothing to stop it. Heen at bottom lane. He gets brought down. Deira chasing deep. Warlock did end up going down. Tied. Oh, it's a dream call from Cheshire Cat cancelling the TP. And March brought down top. Heen brought down bottom.
MVP falling apart a little bit. Not really coordinating with their ultimates there. And PR, of course, great game plan by them, capitalizing on that small window where Brewmaster and Warlock ultimates are down and PR ready to fight.
Yeah. Well, Rock back up, but as is Ravage, so somewhat comparable as far as their impact in these team fights and whether you can push into them. I feel MVP, the Rock, is a bit more important than the Ravage, but
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
it's still going to be, for MVP, both ultimates online now. They've got the Brewmaster split, and at this point, they haven't taken a single Tier 2 tower. Very different position compared to Game 1, where they had this Brewmaster, Warlock. Tier 2 towers are just dropping like flies.
Oh, here they go with the Roshan. It was pinged out about 10 seconds ago from Heen. And they do have both ultimates up. I think they definitely want to take this fight. But the question is, are they going to get there fast enough? There is a Blink Dagger coming out for the Lion and a smoke. Can they do it?
It doesn't look like they're getting here fast enough. PR doing everything to bring it down as fast as possible. The Gush, the Rocket Barrage, all the damage up what they can. There's another Wave of Terror, just level 2 on this Wave of Terror. And Cheshire Cat showing himself mid lane, possibly a bit of a red herring for this MVP side who do not end up contesting Roche.
And again, PR just able to sneak it in at a very inopportune time for MVP.
MVP has smoked up, making a move towards top lane though. Seems they're hoping someone will TP up there to defend. They can find a pick off and possibly transition into a Tier 2 tower.
They do have the high ground advantage right now. They will spot out Cheshire Cat very shortly. Oh, nope, not anymore. It is nighttime.
Diaz just focusing on clearing out an Ancient stack for now. Deechira's got a Demon Edge, so we'll be looking at a straight MKB for him.
Middle tower is under attack.
I think Brewmaster probably needs a BKB at this point too, so he can be the one whacking on the towers.
Yeah, just the Vlads for now for your Brewmaster. Adam will be flying out in a second. Cheshire Cat's got his much-needed Blink Dagger, and this is an important item to have. If you want to try Blink Engage and burst down, be it the Brew, the Warlock, someone before one of the ultimates, you need this Blink Silence, but you still have to be careful. If you go on someone like a Brewmaster, the Infernals will suddenly drop from the sky and try look to prevent that Brew being brought down. QO runs into the Tidehunter here. The stun coming out. They may go for a Ravage here. They are wary of the rocks here. He's going to use the split somewhat defensively. Omni Slash going to bring down the Tide. No Ravage for PR in this fight. And now NS going to be caught out by the Brewmaster split. Elsewhere, it's the Infernals being dropped by the Warlock. That gets the kill elsewhere. And, well, 3-0 to start things off. They lose the puck to the Infernals, and Ty going to be forced to buy back. Deechira wants to fight. He wants Reason. With the BKB Aegis as well, Reason will be brought down. Losing at BKB now. They want to find more here. On the low ground, it is going to be March chasing forever.
Stolen glimpse on March.
Oh, March brought back, and no escape for him. He's going to get chased down, it looks like, by the Tidehunter, who has a Gush in a couple of seconds, has a Ravage available as well. The flank is happening, though. From behind, here comes the rest of the MVP squad. They're looking to fight on the high ground. They brought down the Gyrocopter Aegis. Can this Gyrocopter still fight? Blink in from Cure. He wants Saniko. Deechira's going in. The glimpse from Saniko. He gets brought down even with the glimpse being used on Cure. Now Deechira in a 1 versus 3. Where's the Blink Ravage? He needs to use it and use it fast. Sashklo can't do it. He does it from afar. Catches out 2. Deechira's still alive and they're going to win this fight. They bring down 3. Deechira, he barely survives. The stun on 4 is going to keep Deechira alive on 40 HP. March now. Last man standing, has some support coming from the line, who blinks in, misses the Impale though. Oh, they barely saved their Gyrocopter. That was huge.
Such an important buyback for Sashklo right there.
Whew. I didn't think he was getting off the Ravage. I think it was the Warlock who just kept canceling his blink, and he couldn't get into the melee range he wanted for it, but the Ravage in the end was solid.
Man, oh my goodness, so close to killing Gyrocopter there. Wow.
These team fights, neck and neck.
It's again, the Aegis making a huge difference.
And MVP, they're not taking any towers. I guess the Tier 2 bottom going to get denied, but
Dire's bottom tower.
They're kind of breaking even against a PR team who, I guess this game, PR's late game doesn't really outshine MVPs by as much as possibly in the game 1.
A prize.
Yeah, I definitely do not think so. They have the Brew, scales decently into late. They have the Blink Hex for Lion. Eventually, maybe a Scepter and Disruptor. Actually, that's probably not a possibility this game. And, of course, the Refresher, Ags, Warlock.
Yep.
Juggernaut's getting his items on. If they can continue to burst people down with Omni Slash like that, very crucial heroes, they killed the Tidehunter last fight with it, then I think they can continue to at least break even
Bottom
on
lane,
fights.
they found March, and March thinking he can buy some time to farm, get that refresher up, is going to get caught out. Dichara gets the kill, and he's now just 100 away from an MKB.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
It's bad news for the Brew.
Radiant's bottom tower.
Still, Lion has had his Hex for a little bit of time, but not enough time to see it really big in play yet. Gyrocopter been kind of just running around in each of these fights, not really being controlled. We saw one of the glimpses back, and that's pretty much the only thing that kept him in check last fight.
Yep. Well, the big bad Watermelon going to TP himself back. It looks like they do want to take a fight here. There's no reason to give this tier 2 with Warlock on the sidelines. Very evident they want to defend and not give anything for free to MVP. QO very aggressively going to go in with the Primal Split here. They're trying to fight without the Warlock, who is going to now TP himself into the mid lane. So they've got a tier 1 tower available. Call down, going to not catch too much. The Ravage, complete whiff coming in from the Tide. Sashglow, sorry, Cheshire Cat on the puck, going to try orb himself out of there and thrown up in the air. That's going to cancel off the orb. They can drop him in a second, but it seems MVP with no split. They have got the Warlock Golems. They may look to re-engage, but for now, just happy with the Rubik kill. Dreamcoil going to completely airball. This has been a very different game from Cheshire Cat from game 1. Second missed Dreamcoil of the game, and he has not been as on point with the puck.
He's forced to fight into a more difficult lineup, though. And MVP, even though they had the advantage in that fight with no Ravage and Warlock Ultimate, they wanted to back off to farm their side lanes. Bottom lane was getting pushed back to their T3 tower, and they desperately need a little bit more farm on the Juggernaut so he can compete with the Gyrocopter in the physical damage aspect. And Didier Ra, MKB complete, working on a 2-stack of Ancients, and he is getting out of control. Also, Didier Ra had a DD, fighting a Gyrocopter with 5 flat cannon charges and a DD. Not a good setup to win a team fight. And Refresher, very close on the Warlock. Also waiting for that.
That's a good sign for him. Still, if MVP give too much space for Gyrocopter to get another big item, I feel like he may have a way of dealing with all those rock golems.
Still, it's a lot of uptime on him. Dropping 2 rocks on him is probably more than enough to kill him with Omni Slash.
Yep.
So, yeah, sure, he can BKB, but BKB and Flat Cannon is not the I win button.
See a bit of a juking and jiving in top lane. As Cheshire Cat has 2 heroes TP out in front of him, and MVP grouping up near this mid lane. Seeing possibly... Whoa, what did Gyro do here? He BKB'd for something.
Misclick, maybe. Trying to phase, I don't know.
Well, down to 6. At this point, it's like, well, you basically got the short duration BKB. It does have the slightly shorter cooldown at least. That's the good news. QO can't cancel these TPs on his own. Needs the Lion, who does have Blink available, but he's awfully far away from this.
Top tower is under attack.
Again, PR doing a lot of good work, just split pushing all the lanes, making it hard for MVP to group up as 5 and go for these pushes that they want to go for.
Looks like Heen will be setting up wards around the Roshan pit. It is, at worst, 35 seconds away from respawning for them. And Didier Ra has also been huddling around that area constantly and could easily sneak in Roche. I think he can actually he has no lifesteal.
March at bottom. Going to be okay for now. The cooldown trying to set things up there, but here comes Kyo. They TP in, they're looking to counter engage. Cheshire Cat going to walk right into this Disruptor, and that's not an easy hero for him to deal with, but with backup, he sure as hell can. Completely alone is Heen, and he gets isolated, brought down. The backup is now here, but they've already lost a Disruptor. Kyo goes in with a Drunken Haze, doesn't have the range for the clap or the Primal Split, and Puck in the back line's just doing his thing. He's going to actually look to re-engage. They want to fight this one, it seems. Ravage going to catch him out. Can they burst down Q with a BKB teacher out? Not going to happen. Forev now on the Juggernaut. He's used the Omni Slash already. The Primal Split seems to be focusing NS on the Vengeful Spirit, but These Primal Split Warriors not doing too much damage. They're going to now drop the rock from March. It doesn't really do too much. They're stuck on the low ground here. Healing Ward comes. The stolen rock from Saniko gets turned around. They want to kill the last Brewmaster Bear, but they don't do it. Blink to the side from Kuro. That's going to save his life now. The Blade Fury through from 4F. 3 dead on the PR side. Going to make it 4. Dichara finally dies for the first time this game. 4-0 in the mid lane.
Now, I think the Warlocks might have actually worked against them, because they ended up getting Fatal Bonded to the majority of the PR team, including a Gyro without a BKB. And yeah, sure, those rocks may fall, but Fatal Bonds, my goodness, that spell just owned them that fight.
What crazy
That's before the
damage.
refresher.
Yeah, double Fatal Bonds coming soon. Here comes the Courier, and yep, it's the refresher.
And
they may go high ground.
And again, as you said, it's such a risky play going for the Brewmaster. They use a solo Ravage just to try and kill him, and even without a Warlock ultimate, they still saved him from dying before the Brew split.
The MVP Golem didn't really do all that much, it felt like, but
it was dropped on a phase-shifted puck.
Yeah.
So it actually did nothing.
Well, the damage came elsewhere. It was the Fatal Bonds you mentioned, and just everyone else is the right-click damage, the auras from the Vlads, the
Omni
Juggernaut.
Slash.
Doing work. And now there is Refresher Chaotic Offering with an Aegis in hand. They just have to wait the 75 seconds for the rocks to come up, and a BKB now on QO. So core items galore for the Korean squad. Looking to get that 2-0 victory here in the round 1 of the lower bracket.
QO has eyes on Cheshire Cat.
Cheshire Cat going to get silenced up. He in a perfect position with a Blink Dagger. He's going to use himself in the air. May just be barely enough to save his life, and QO going to go down instead. Nice Yules coming out from Cheshire Cat. That saves his life. He's looking for more. The Gyrocopter actually brings down the Disruptor, who was still hiding in those trees. A little pool of blood where the neutrals normally are. And
I don't think they saw the Yules on the puck.
yeah,
That's a very difficult play when he has that. They need the Lion.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
PR bounced back after losing a bad fight in the mid lane, and
Radiant's top tower has
Dichara feels
fallen.
like he's going to need another big item before this next big push comes. The Refresher, Rock Golem, and the Aegis in hand for MVP.
Radiant's top
This next
tower
push
is
could be
under
fatal.
attack.
On top of that, Brewmaster has a
Radiant
BKB
structures
sitting
are
in his
fortified.
stash. And
Going on the Lion. Going to start with a Dream Call. Here comes Sash Glow. Not going to look to Ravage 4F, I don't think. Ravage being held for now, and 4F taking a lot of just right-click damage. Swap back, and that's his first life. He's got Omni Slash, but no Blade Fury. Gonna go for the Omni Slash, gets stunned up. There's your Roxy, gets the Omni Slash off with a Fatal, no Fatal Bonds. Didn't have the mana for it. Now the Ravage comes in. March with the double Refresher ultimate, doing some big damage, but only getting the kill on the Vengeful Spirit. 3 heroes low with Tide, Jarrah, and Puck all in the red. Dichara seems to be the main target, and he'll be brought down by the MVP side. Off in the trees. Whoa, almost got the Puck there.
what a perfect time for Warlock Ultimate to come off cooldown. It cooled down while he was respawning with the Aegis. That's how close it was.
Because he was not wanting to use that Refresher. He was waiting for that Golem to come back up the old-fashioned way. And, well, PR, not a terrible fight for them by any means, but they do lose Dichara once more.
I think that was a terrible fight. The thing is, he has 5 seconds of BKB.
It was like a 2 for 2 kind of. Like they got the Aegis as well as the Lion.
But the way the fight started off for them, they just kept getting pickoffs. The 2 heroes were down, Brewmaster as well as a Disruptor, and then they got a free Aegis.
Brewmaster going to go for the ulti at mid lane, somewhat defensively it seems, but he's thinking he can get some kills. Reason has a finger of death. Sashglow swap back towards the mid lane. He's going to be kept alive with that, and it looks like no casualties here.
Dire's top tower
Very nice
has
swap.
fallen.
The good news is the Warlock Refresher's on cooldown for 2 more minutes, so they do have a bit of breathing space here, but getting Gyrocopter items is #1 priority right now, it feels like.
See, the thing is, he needs like Butterfly Satanic to tank through this, because BKB is, it's not irrelevant, but it doesn't buy him enough uptime.
Yeah.
BKB, and then two rocks, and then he has like 3 seconds left of being able to do something, and this is if Juggernaut doesn't bash him during the Omni Slash. So MVP has a lot of solutions to deal with just one farmed hero, and I'm not liking how this is going for PR unless they hit a big Ravage and kill a lot of the squishy heroes, or ideally Warlock.
Well, they're going to sweep through the enemy jungle. Looks like they may run right into Q, who does have a BKB. Do they look to go on him? They've got decent chain stun with lift into Magic Missile. Even a Tide, or no Tide Ravage.
March going to get picked off right here.
Oh,
Cheshire
yeah.
Cat scouts him out.
There we go, the Gush. But no, the rest of the team seem to go a different direction. March going to get silenced, but here comes Cure with a BKB. Looking to zone him out. The cooldown going to slow down Cure inside that BKB, and without an ultimate, he's going to be careful. Dechira has the MKB, but the Omni Slash now going to look to bring down the Gyro, but the swap out will save his life. The slow from Upheaval. PR can't run. They've got to just stand and fight, and they're going to fight to their death right now. The Omni Slash gets stolen by the Rubik, but not doing anywhere near enough damage. 4 dead. 5th is going to be Saniko. The TP out ain't going to happen. 5 for 0. PR gets slaughtered on the Radiant side of the map.
That is devastating. And now, I mean, Gyrocopter, he can't stand up to anything. He doesn't BKB, he dies. He does BKB, he gets Omni and still dies.
5-second
Even
BKB,
with the swap.
They have to just kill March instantly, because it's not just the rocks, it's the Fatal Bonds in the past fight. That fight, it was the Upheaval. Everything in this Warlock's kit can cause PR problems.
And on top of that, that was without Brew ulti and without the refresher on the Warlock.
He didn't even use in the single Chaotic. He didn't use, either ultimate. He's got double ulti for this push. They've got Primal Split for this ultimate, for this push. They're missing an Omni Slash, but I don't think they mind too much about that. They're going to get at least one lane, possibly a second lane of racks if they want to try press their luck.
It's looking real bad.
Well, PR had a close day 1 series against the Ninjas in Pajamas, and here they are on day 2. Another close series, but possibly a 2-0 defense. TP outside of the base. Cheshire Cat gets spotted TPing out, though. And it's Tide in the trees, looking for that Blink Ravage.
Cheshire Cat gets Blink. He gets initiated on by Heen Finger.
No. He's got no buyback as well. Meanwhile, on the high ground, Cure's BKB'd up, has a Primal Split. The BKB going to be wearing off soon. Sashko needs to find the Blink Ravage opening. Going to see a Blade Fury being stolen by the Rubik here. Not the spell he had in mind. And 4F just going to go marching forward. He's got Omni Slash. He goes in. He wants the Tide, and Tide. He may not even go for Ravage. He's off on the side, still alive. Glimpse back. Is there anything to bring him down? He's not going to get the Ravage off. He bought back as well. It's a dieback. Here come the rocks. Rock number 1. Rock number 2. It's all over for Power Rangers. They lose 3. They've only got the supports left standing. With Rubik and Ven still alive, it's not enough. They're going to get 2-0'd here. MVP Phoenix, the Korean squad, have won this best-of-3 series.
This is what I expected from MVP from day 1. And finally, they go back to their guns and destroy with the Warlock and the Brew. You better respect it.
Well, Keen said it in their interview. Day 1, they were counter-picking too much, not confident in their own picks. Day 2, screw it. Let's pick Warlock every game. Let's second pick a Warlock.
That's what we know them for.
It works fantastic.
They play damn well with it. Ban the Brew.
Ban the Brew. Yeah, exactly. I feel like it's not even like, you can't even just say, okay, we're versing MVP, let's first ban Warlock. The Brewmaster is almost the bigger problem. It works just so well as far as space creation goes there, so... MVP looking good here, looking like they may be able to make a run through the lower bracket. They joined Fire as the 2 non-CIS teams still alive in the tournament. Both looking bad on day 1, but day 2, it's a new sign of life coming out.
Unfortunately, an early exit for Power Rangers as well as our Hellraisers. Those will be the only 2 teams departing today.
That's all right. We've got Na'Vi, Empire, VP Polar to carry the CIS flag still. Still a lot of CIS teams to go through if you're MVP or Team Fire right now. But
unfortunately for MVP, I think it's going to be very difficult for them moving forth, just because they use the exact same thing twice in a row, and I haven't seen them with this much success with any other draft. Maybe Omni Knight, but aside from that, it's all about this team fight. It's a lot about the Warlock, and to run deep into the brackets, you have to have a deep pull of strategy.
It may be some of those heroes that were getting banned out. Like Power Rangers were banning out the Slark, they were banning out the Bristleback. Maybe these are heroes that MVP will instead be going for in this in their future series. If it's something like Warlock gets banned, they get the Brewmaster, not the Warlock, or vice versa. Maybe we see something different. Maybe we see them pull out the Wisp Bristleback they've done. So we'll see what happens here. We're going to be joined once again on the panel by Cuddle Guy.
Hi, guys.
Hi.
So we asked the question, MVP. They got to do what's most comfortable. We see 2 Warlocks. We see 2 wins. I tried to tune in as best as possible, but
I think the Brew might have been a bigger deal. They're both a big deal. In tandem, it's just ridiculous. You don't get one. You don't kill one of them. You can't kill one of them. Like the Brew ult will protect the Warlock and vice versa, and it's also insane how much Farm March had. I think he had like a 30-minute refresher, Midas, Scepter in game 2, and Game 1 was 29 minutes.
Yeah, well.
It just felt like by their body language, the way they drafted, a lot more confidence. Maybe almost overconfidence in Game 1, it almost felt like. But
look at these last hits. Very well-rounded from MVP. March, 4Ev, and Kyo all getting a ton of farm. And on Power Rangers, it was just Ditya Ra. Well, maybe they expected Cheshire Cat to have a better game, but MVP drafted the correct supports to deal with a puck, a Lion and a Disruptor.
Yeah, I feel like that was the really smart adjustment. They didn't just go for the Jakiro and whatnot again. They said, look, Blink Hex against this team is really important. We can get the gyro before he beat KBs potentially, but more so than anything, like catching the puck in that last fight, he TPs in, he thinks he's safe, but he gets caught out by Disruptors. So
I think a lot of it was because Sashlo didn't have good Ravages. I think they were reliant on that a lot of the time. Yeah. At the same time, MVP Phoenix did a fantastic job of scouting him out, glimpsing him, Omni-slashing him. Are you going to Ravage and Omni-slash New Juggernaut? Certainly not.
Well, that puts PR knocked out of the tournament set with Hellraisers. Zairi, what's coming up next? What do we got in store?
Empire versus Na'Vi. We're going to go up to the semifinals, and it's going to heat up. It's the CIS grudge match. I think this place is going to fill up, and it's going to get electric.
Almost considered like the new El Clasico.
Almost,
Na'Vi,
yeah.
Na'Vi
The CIS El Clasico, I guess.
The LAC calls it the CIS El Clasico, or the CIS Clasico. So
yeah.
They played each other so many times. They know each other well. They've got a long history, so it's a big one.
Yeah, it certainly is. And who would you say the favorite is going in? If Na'Vi plays like they did yesterday, I think they could be a contender to come out on top, but it's a pretty close match.
Both teams are fairly inconsistent. Empire, they have those balls to the wall, like 20-minute victories, and sometimes they draft a little bit greedier and just kind of just lose. So, I don't know.
Just kind of lose, you know.
Kind of lose.
I think Empire have some good footage to look at Na'Vi. Like, they know Na'Vi are going for the Magnus, the Troll Waller. They know exactly what heroes they're prioritizing. Yeah. So Na'Vi are going to be forced to probably do something different with their drafts. And I feel Empire are more versatile as far as, like, they've got more heroes and strategies which they know work for them. For Na'Vi, it's like they've got versatile players, but they haven't been winning games with their other strats. The only strat they've been winning games with is the Magnus. So despite the fact they've got Dendi, who's got a big hero pool, Havas has a big hero pool, they're not winning games with their other heroes right now. So
yeah, they've still been playing a lot of puck, the Vengeful Spirit. The Wisp is something that Na'Vi can also bring out. What else can Dendi play besides the Mag? I have a feeling we'll see some Mag bans.
Poker, Pod, TA, Puck.
I mean, yeah.
A lot of things.
Well, yeah, I meant more like on this patch that he's been playing recently. I know he has a diverse hero pool.
Recently, it's just, we got a good thing going. We're just
Magnus, that's it. So
we're going to play Magnus until you ban it. And when you ban it, we'll just pick up a first pick Wisp or something like that. So I feel like that's what it's going to be.
Playing and winning is a different story.
Right. Yeah, absolutely. So time-wise, I think we're probably going to be stuck with a little break here. Another 2-0 series, unfortunately, for the sake of the schedule. So there may be a gap on the stream, folks. Well, sorry again, but it isn't a big best-of-3 coming up. No more elimination games, so we're done with the tears, done with the sadness. PR and HR, the first two teams eliminated. That's an upset, I would say.
The two teams going to DAC as well. That's the hilarious thing there. The two teams who just qualified for the biggest tournament of the rest of 2014, well, up until TI5, basically, of just
shows you how close the scene is in terms of
given that both those teams also had stand-ins and stuff, but they're still really strong, formidable teams. And hey, Power Rangers originally weren't even supposed to be here, so you know what? They get to walk away with a little bit of something, which I guess is pretty nice for them. But Na'Vi, the other team that was a bit of a late sub-in, we'll see how far they can go.
All right.
Yeah, absolutely. So with that, I think we'll take a break, guys, and then we'll come on back with Empire versus Na'Vi. Merlini and I going to be casting that one. Stick around because more Dota 2 is coming your way here at the Starladder Season 11 LAN Finals.